Guys, well, remember when I said in my April TBR that I wouldn't purchase any books in April? Well, shame on you if you believe me, because I can't go a single month without acquiring at least a book. So here's the books I purchased in April. To start off with is a book that I discovered through a YouTuber called Ty Lopez. I will link him in the info box. He's kind of like a motivational speaker, and a lot of the things he says, once you hear it, it's kind of like common sense, but I would recommend checking him out. And this is Seneca on the Shortness of Life, and this is just one of those, another little great ideas book from Penguin. In fact, this is #1 in the collection, which is awesome. And this is, well, Seneca was a philosopher from, I believe, like 2,000 years ago, if not longer. And he basically writes about how life isn't short, we just waste it. And I would recommend picking it up and giving it a go. And he, like, one of my favourite quotes in the portion I've read so far is how you won't find a person that's willing to just give away their money, but how many people do we divide our time amongst? I'll find the quote actually. You will find no one willing to share out his money, but to how many does each of us divide up his life? People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. That. Your time is valuable, my time is valuable, spend it wisely. So, inspirational book, first of all. Next I have a couple of books from my favourite charity shop. I say a couple, it's more like 4. My favourite charity shop, well, my favourite charity book shop is the VSA, which is the Aberdeen's Volunteers Association, and they have their own bookshop. And they're really reasonably priced for their books, unlike a lot of other charities. They sell them next to full price, which is, you know, for a book, I mean, it's for charity, but for a book that's been read so many times that it looks like this, for example, I don't want to be paying $3.50 for it, you know? This one in specific I got for £1 because it's so big. But this is Louisa Elliott by Anne Victoria Roberts, and this is kind of a historical romance set in New York, and it journeys off into Ireland a little bit. That's about all I kind of know. It had Royal Dragoons in it. It made me think of Outlander, and I just wanted it. So yeah, that happened. Then I have The Diamond Throne by David Eddings. This is the first in a fantasy trilogy. Just your standard, people come out of exile from a quest, find the world in ruins and try and help it. So yeah. Next I got a bind up. This is the Jacqueline Suzanne omnibus. If you don't know who Jacqueline Suzanne is, she's the lady who wrote Valley of Dolls, which is completely different to the movie, by the way, at least in my opinion. And when I first heard about Jacqueline Suzanne, it was in a Sex and the City episode where they go to a friend's baby shower, and their friend used to be all wild and crazy, and they can't believe that she's settling down and she's surrounded by all these kind of suburban moms kind of thing, and they get into a fight, and the crazy friend that's now having a baby screams at them, "Life isn't like a Jacqueline Suzanne novel." And I since then got really interested in who Jacqueline Suzanne is. I've read most of The Valley of the Dolls, and here we have The Love Machine and Once Is Not Enough. I'd recommend checking out Valley of the Dolls, and if you like it, check out this, because her writing is really kind of quirky and very, like, very Jackie Collins. Yeah, we'll go with that. Very Jackie Collins. Next I have The God of Small Things by Arundhati Arundhati Roy. There you go. He won the Booker Prize a couple of years ago, and it was on the 20p shelf. I don't know. I got it for 20p. So yeah, that happened. Next I have this massive book, which is The Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir. Yes, de Beauvoir. And this is about feminism. And within the first 10 pages, my brain hurt so much because it made me question my entire existence. Like, the essence of a woman is femininity. If you take away femininity, what makes a woman? Because not all females are women. Yeah. Just because you're female doesn't make you a woman, and the basis of being a woman is femininity. So if you're not feminine, are you still a woman? Yeah. So yeah, I've read like 20 pages of this. It is an entire mindfuck and will make you question everything you ever thought about your life. So, excited. Very excited. And the last two books are, well, one is massive. These are both books for, these are mostly for English literature courses in university, but just because you're not in university doesn't mean you can't teach yourself about English literature. Yo. First is Beginning Theory, An Introduction to Literary and Cultural Theory by Peter Barry, and I can't remember her actual name, but her channel is Just Kiss My Frog. I will link it in the info box. You need to go check her out. She went to the University of Aberystwyth. Oh, if I could live in Aberystwyth, I so totally would. And I actually considered going there for university. We used, like my parents and I used to go on holiday there. We used to go on holiday in Wales. We went for like 8 years running, and Aberystwyth was one of our favourite places to go. It's just this really nice seaside sort of town, and it's like, if you like quiet living, you'll like it there. If you don't like quiet living, you will go fucking insane. Just saying, you will. But yeah, Beginning Theory, and this has little exercises in it to help you sort of fully understand the ideas that it's putting towards you, which is awesome. And then we have Literary Theory, an anthology, and this is the Blackwell one, and it's a huge one, and it basically just goes into detail about all the different kinds of literary theories, gives you examples, and I think it has questions and exercises in it as well. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it does. I think it just goes in detail about everything. Like everything. And it gives you examples of works, recommended reading, a good few essays, like there's Freud and stuff in here. And if you're interested in literary theory, even if you're not going to university, you know, like books like this might be worth picking up. There's also York Notes, I think it is. They do like books about this size on specific literary genres. Like I have one on postmodern literature. No, post-war literature. One second. The one I have is on post-war literature. It's from 1950 to 1999. The next one in the series is about modern literature. But this basically just goes on about the changes in culture and how it affects literature and how literature in that period was received, and just the evolution of literature. Basically, they're not like compulsory reading or anything. They're just really interested if you're into that kind of thing. So yeah, they're the York Notes companions. Like, you'll get individual ones for specific texts, like The Great Gatsby or Pride and Prejudice, that kind of thing. Or you can get ones for specific periods in time. Like, you can get one for Gothic literature, you can get one for Romanticism. The one on Gothic literature I do really want, because I want to learn a bit about Gothic literature before I go diving into some of it. I know Jane Eyre is sort of Gothic literature, and Northanger Abbey is like Gothic literature. Gothic. Can't believe I was going to say that. But yeah. If you want to recommend me anything in the sort of educational literature realm, let me know in the comments below. And that is everything that I have to share with you in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.